up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a Sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Dallas Cowboys. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. I had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
Here's the former Auburn kicker, Daniel Carlson, to get this one started. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And a glance at the tall signal caller.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
And last night we were discussing some of the changes they've made offensively during the offseason, and we know it helped for them to have the first game at home. Hopefully this crowd, which we saw coming in, they've been here for a while, ready to go. You and I should have joined the tailgates, that's for sure. They're going to give them plenty of encouragement. They'll try and ride that wave and get their first victory of the year.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. Back to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll look to throw here, and that'll be incomplete. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Check 99. Check 99.
Looking to throw. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Here we go. Set. 8, read. Watch 54. Watch 54. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Shoot, shoot.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Escaping the pressure right. And a throw right sideline is complete. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 27. He'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And out of bounds right around the 20.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Set. 60 Pittsburgh. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch it.
Running is Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from 11 yards out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlight showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
So after a good run by Zeke, another first. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top. Take it deep.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
City base. Right there, 56. All day, just like that, just like that. Fire.
He'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is fielded at the 7. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Well, here's a good way to kick off the drive, complete over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? On first down, this is McCaffrey. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
Obviously a tough test for this offense right out of the gate. Road game in game 1 of the new year. Conventional wisdom says, go slow. Take care of the football. I think in this case, attack early and get the home team back on their heels.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Yeah, the Cowboys here on third down, bringing in an extra defensive back.
All day, every day, any day. Defense.
On play action, they'll throw. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Fourth down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. This from 54 yards away. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines.
Ready.
What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Check three. Get it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's Elliott, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Watch safety creep. Go.
From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup. And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Don't get nervous. And ready.
Now Elliott. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Ready.
They'll drop to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. But now it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. 2nd and 10. Out to the left. That's where the tight end Moreau is. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Set up. 15 line. 15 line.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jarrett Davis in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. Here's A.J. Cole now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Returnable here from the 38. 12 yards on the return that time. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
The run by Elliott, a good one on first down as he's able to pick up about 6 there. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Elliott, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Let's go now. 50, plant. Right there, 56. It's our field. It's our field. Shoot.
And now he'll tuck it and run. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
They'll set up a throw. He's got his man Cruz. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession there, and you'd have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker, especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise that this would come up short.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Flush to his right. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
1:57 to go in this first half on Sports. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. 3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. And now we'll get a delay here as they try to give themselves a little more room for the punt. I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
And they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where it was the visiting Colts who were able to pick up the road victory. 28-14 was your final score. From there, we'll make the trek east to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. The Falcons playing well in their opener, trying to send their sellout crowd home happy. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. Daniel Jones with 3 touchdown passes in the Week 1 victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Now comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Ready, set. Mike's by four. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Shoot.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
Hey, seam 6. 5.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Now he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
Hey, Orbit.
They'll look to throw here. And that is caught. But the back judge right there to say incomplete. This Cowboy defense looked ready for that 3rd down pass. Brings up 4th.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So out comes a field. Goal team now for the 2nd time here today. The kick by Carlson is good, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Elliott on first down, going to get this back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Back to throw here. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 69 yards. As his guys are back within a single score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that'll make it 13-7. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that. But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now a toss. This is McCaffrey. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Complete. Smith has it. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. So they go pass on 3rd and 2. They complete it, but no gain. Should they have tried to run it?
I thought that running the ball in that situation is what they would have done, because at worst case scenario, you may bring up a 4th down decision for your team. Instead, now, they're not close to the 1st down.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Here we go.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. Now, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5 on the 10. They should be ready to go.
A loss of 2 there, second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll run with Elliott. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
But they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them.
Set, ready? 70, Indy. Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it. Check out,
McCaffrey following the penalty. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Ready up. Check that. One, Mike 52 right here. In your face.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Raiders on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. The open man is Smith. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 34-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. He's got Smith here. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2. They'll look to throw again. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Draw play, Elliott. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a 1st.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll drop the throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight unable to find anyone open.
56 is the mic. What? We own them.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Former Buckeye first-rounder Garyon Conley there to knock that away.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They'll run it with Elliott, and nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Ezekiel Elliott not able to get it past the marker. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. 3 down.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. Like they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Now the try here for the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback.
The football comes out. Jacobs lost it. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. It's complete to Cruz. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 46. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So the folks on hand here growing a little restless with their kicking game. That's now 2 misses so far.
And in a tight game, 4th quarter, the fans aren't the only ones getting restless, Brandon. There were a few looks of disbelief on that sideline as well.
So out come the Raiders. Now, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Pick it up. 61, matchbox lights. Bravo. 5.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Second and 14. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Back to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. What a gut punch. That should be the nail in the coffin with those 2 points, making this a 2-score game now with time, Charles, clearly not on their side.
Yeah, they have to give the football away as well. Had a chance. Yeah, it was a small chance to get down the field, but guess what? This one's now just about over.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. This will be fielded at the 17. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready, 50, plant. Rip left, rip left.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
So now the Cowboys down on the scoreboard. 55 seconds remaining. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a 1st down.
Here we go, here we go. 8, read. Get your swarm on.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got his man Cruz. And they work this out past the 25. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, but it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Let's get off the field.
They'll set up a throw. And that's Elliott, complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys. He'll drop to throw. Caught. It's Cruz, left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Oakland, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah. 30,000 in the pocket, no